Hello students. So we are going to um, go through the test answers that I gave you on simple sentence. So let us go through it and try to see our own mistakes and do away with them. Okay, so the first question was, a young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. And the question was, underline the subject. So this sentence was given and you were asked to underline it, right? And the answer is, a young woodcutter named Taro. How did we reach this answer? So for this there are certain instructions. So step 1 is, the first thing is to find a finite verb. How to find it? It is very simple, guys. So take any subject pronoun. It can be I, we, you, he, she, it, or they. So a singular or plural. For example, I is singular, we is plural, you is singular and plural, he, she, it are singular third person pronouns, and they is plural third person pronoun. Okay, so take any subject pronoun, these are all subject pronouns, and place it before the verb. If we get a sentence that makes sense, it is definitely a verb. For example, let us take two words from the sentence given, named and lived. Why we are choosing these ones? Because the verb forms, these look very much like the past forms of the verb, right? So because past forms often take ed, right? So I named my brother Sloth, and we can make a sentence, and this is subject I, and then rest is the predicate, and it is giving a sense. I named, so what I named, so my brother a sloth. I named my brother a sloth. I lived with my mother. And so this is also making sense, that I subject and then predicate is lived. So that means we can say that these are verbs. So another test of the verb is that we can add ing to the first form of the verb, v1, or the first form of the verb. We often call them by v1 first form, v2 second form, and v3 third form, and ing form is often known as v4 form. So in different books you will find all these words which has no s or es ending. Example, naming, name, name, names, names. There are two present forms, but we cannot add names, ing in names. We have to take only nam, then dropping the ing is added. And living, live, live, so we dropping the e, we are adding ing. Okay, so this test is also okay, and we find that they are verbs. Another test is that a verb has three forms. Then this is also, by looking at a word, we find that if it has got three forms, present form, past form, and past participle form, then it is definitely a verb, right? So name, names, named, and named. You can find this and check this in the dictionaries. So good dictionaries, I mean, often you have your pocket dictionaries which are not considered good dictionaries, right? You must have an full version dictionary. It can be Cambridge or any other dictionary. So similarly, live, lives, lived, and lived. So live and lives are the present form, lived is the past form, and lived again is the past participle form. So there are three forms of the verb. This is the first form, this is the second form, and this is the third form of the verb. And then the fourth form is we add ing here, living. So in this way we have identified these two words as verbs And now we have to decide which one is the finite verb of the sentence and which is non-finite verb. Because we know that a simple sentence contains only one finite verb. So is it named in this case or is it lived in this case? We know that the sentence structure that it contains subject, then finite verb, and then rest of the sentence, which is optional. So um, and this whole thing forms predicate finite verb plus rest of the sentence forms the predicate. uh, so Step 3, and to decide subject of a sentence, we just have to frame appropriate question with the predicate, or in short we can say that we have identified these two verbs. So we have to ask them, because verbs, the finite verbs, they form predicate, and so if we ask what, who, or whom, then either of them should give us answer on the left hand side of the sentence of the verb. And if we get a complete left hand side proper group of words as an answer, then we can say that okay. So let us continue. So step 3 comes, there are 3 questions. Okay, so we will stop here for a while, then we will continue.